Hey guys, PretoMan945 here. Welcome back to another video. Today, this video is going to be my updated version of my top 10 favorite TV shows of all time. Because there have been some drastic changes that have occurred in the ranking or whatever. So at number 10, we have The Golden Girls. Now, this is a show that seems like it would be the complete opposite of something that I like. A sitcom about old ladies. However, I find it so funny. Like, a lot of the jokes land for me. Even now, there are some references that I still don't understand. But, like, I understand it a lot better now, and I find it super funny. And yet, even beneath all that, they somehow find a way to create these, like, decently deep characters and, like, have, like, meaningful relationships that actually mean a lot. And, I really like that about that. It's just the fact that that's, like, hidden, in as a little detail below, like, all the hilarious jokes in the show. Like, it's not just, laughter and stuff like that. At number 9 is The Mandalorian. Now, I think this is always going to be in my top 10. But, it's, besides the Clone Wars, it's my favorite Star Wars show to date. Like, I was very much wowed by it. For one thing, in the first couple episodes, I really loved how, and this was just something I guess I hadn't seen much before, but I really admired how it managed to just use silence as an effective way of communicating instead of just dropping a ton of exposition. Like, in the first, 15 minutes of the episode, there's, barely any dialogue, which I feel like is excellent use for world building and going, like, segmenting those things. What I also like about the quote unquote side quest episodes that some people have some complaints about, minus, like, the second episode of the second season, I'm of the opinion, along with many others, that was probably the least best episode. I won't say worst, because there wasn't really a bad episode, but, like, that one was just not, yeah. But anyway, like, these side quest episodes, I think, do an excellent job of exploring different planets and overall building a nice amount of world building to the entire show. And then the main story things, every episode, it's like really contributes to the main plot, or it builds up, the world building via these side quest episodes. And in some ways, some of the episodes do both, like episode 7 of season 2. That's all about a prison break episode and things like that. And also, Pedro Pascal is absolutely fantastic as the Mandalorian. Like, he is just completely perfect as this role. And Baby Yoda is super cute, and I really like him. But also, like, oh my god, what was his name? What was the villain's name in this movie, in this show? Okay, hang on. I gotta look this up. As a cut in the video, I'll just be right back. Yeah, no, I'm completely stupid. It was Moff Gideon. So, yeah. Dirt brain fart. But yeah, Moff Gideon is genuinely one of my favorite, like, probably my top 5 favorite villains of all time. Just because I think that he is so menacing and threatening, and he just provides an awesome, like, antagonistic presence on screen that just makes him super duper duper cool to watch, and I just like really like just how amazing he is in this show. And also the action is incredible. The action scenes are very dynamic, and they all just feel very epic, whether it's like space combat or like normal combat. It all feels very like cool. And then I also feel like every single side character that's introduced is like in some ways essential to the plot. Like every character that they have like actually is meaningful in some way, which I really appreciate. Like every side episode that introduces a new character, that character will end up being essential to the plot in some way, which is something that I really appreciate. So yeah, overall, there's a lot of positive things I could say about this show. This show is an excellent show. At number 8 is The Last Kingdom, and man, this is only number 8, and they've already got a doozy of a show here. So this show, where do I even start? So it's set in the time period where it's set in like the mid to late 800s AD, and like it's a bit like the time range between like 850 and 950 AD in England, which is the time period like not quite full-blown medieval Europe, but also to the point where it's been a couple centuries since the collapse of the Roman Empire. So it's like the developing of country, but it's still like divided into kingdom. It's not like a united like England yet, and the idea is that, like Vikings are taking over, and Wessex is like the last kingdom, so to speak. And of course that definition like evolves throughout as the show evolves, because I mean there's 5 seasons to this show. But like, the character of Uhtred, I feel like, is like the main protagonist, is like this silent story hero that you never really hear about that much. But that I also feel like is like such a good character, because he's just like driven by impulse and gets in a lot of relationships. This show is very much TVMA. I'll say that much. But like expanding on that, like the action is just like it's like grabbing, like it grabs your attention extremely well, like so much better than like I've seen in a lot of other shows, and it doesn't even need to use like fantasy or anything to do it. It's like very historically grounded. All like a lot of the figures in the show like have historically existed, so it's very historically accurate, at least as far as I'm aware. Because I went into this like knowing nothing about this time period, which I thought was very interesting. But yeah, the character of Uhtred is impulsive, and yet he like evolves. Like he goes through so much literal shit. Like he goes through so much stuff, and like through it his character evolves at the same time. And in season 5 they pay homage to like every single one of his relationships in an extremely meaningful way. And like a lot of the other characters also develop as well, like Finan and Sihtric. In this like show, they end up getting like, you know, married and have kids, which is like a further development from where they were in like previous seasons. And I think that that's really awesome. I wish Osferth didn't die. I really liked Osferth. But even the idea of his character is like he's the nephew of, like, I forget what his name was, but he was like one of the best characters in the whole show. He's only in season 1. He's like this guard that becomes like best friends and like basically kind of a blood brother to Uhtred. And he's like his nephew, and he wants to prove himself, which I think is just like an excellent idea for a character. And then you see that built up. See, that's what I'm trying to get at. What this show does so well is character development. Like, this show just does it so well. Like, my favorite character out of any of the seasons is by far Alfred. Because, like, you see him as a young king who, like, figures out the struggles of rule and still figures out his own tensions and like has so many fallings out and then like reconnections with Uhtred and like oaths that are broken and then be sworn again. The two of them have some of the best character relationships of any show I've ever seen. And honestly, it's insane to me. Like how good his character is, because he develops and slowly becomes more of a benevolent king, and then realizes like he can, like, Uhtred is forgivable. Like, he learns to forgive Uhtred, which is like such a like incredible development of character. And like honestly, there's so many characters in this show that I might have to just make a tier list video, which I will be making more updated versions of all my other tier lists that I have made, and probably more. So expect a lot of those in the future. Yeah, I just and oh my god, the music is incredible. Like, it's all just this vocals based stuff, which I don't really know like what that's in the style of per se, but like it just like adds so much emotion to every scene and is executed perfectly. I think I'm going to split this into a multi-part video, most likely, just because, I don't know, for me recording gets like, pretty tiring. I can only do it for a certain amount of time before I just like, I have to do it in spurts, so, even though this is only like 13 minutes, I'd rather like stagger this out, to do like 7 through onward, at a later point, so, this has been part 1 of my favorite TV shows list, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.